This week is a very exciting one because we are going to be taking down these 9, yes, you heard that right, 9 huge cypress trees. Unfortunately, the previous owners stripped this land of its lavender, ripped out its abundance of fruit trees, and neglected the forest and river. The only thing they did do was to plant about 20 of these trees directly in front of and behind the house. So, we are on a mission to restore this land to its former farmhouse glory, following traditional French jardin principles along the way. Last year, we removed the 7 trees that were behind the house as they were causing subsidence. And now it's time to tackle these ones. Yes, we hear you shouting, "Why are you taking down these trees?" We'll explain it more in the video, but in short, they're just in a bad position, they're dangerous, and they are not very pretty to look at. So join us as we try to fix this old French farm. Hello, welcome back. We are up bright and early this morning because we have a very exciting day. We are getting these massive trees taken down. Yay! We do have a professional coming in to help us with this. You might be able to hear him in the background. His name is Raphael, and he did the trees that we had to cut down here behind the house as well. He's great, he's super nice, and amazing at the job. So yes, he is back helping us take down 8 of the 13 trees today, and then we'll kind of assess the rest and whether we think we can do them ourselves or we get him back, but 8 will be plenty to get processing for now. So join us to see this dramatic episode of these trees finally being taken down. It was at this point that the drone crashed. Cut to GoPro! For the beady-eyed amongst you, you may have noticed that there are more than 9 trees here. You're right. We are having the 9 trickiest trees taken down by a professional, the lovely Raphael, and we will take down the remaining 5 by ourselves.
Wow, God, it's hard to walk on all this stuff.
I know.
Hello.
Hello.
We've probably got some explaining to do. So we thought whilst Raphael is taking a break for lunch and some of these big trees are down, and the dogs, answer some of the burning questions that we know you will be having at this point of the video. So, Jazz, what are those questions? Because I've forgotten our list already.
Question 1, we have explained this, but for those who are definitely going to ask in the comments anyway, we'll say it again. Why are we doing this?
Why? Why are we doing this indeed?
I'll answer my own question. There are a few reasons. Number 1 is light. So again, people will be like, but you need shade in your garden. Yes, we know we need shade in our garden. We live in Provence. We experience the summers where you 100% agree we need shade. But currently, the only thing that these trees are shading is the barn. Yeah. That's it. They literally, it's not an area that we spend any time in. It's just the entrance to the barn. We want to take them down so that we can let more light into the courtyard and the house, because on this south side of the house, we are going to be putting more windows in. Secondly is the view. So again, our terrace is kind of behind you guys on the south side of the house. We're going to be extending that, and we would like to be able to see the views across the valley over here.
Time on it and see the lovely view. And now we can see, from here we can now see already into the lavender field and across the valley towards, like a long way that we couldn't see before. 3
is safety. So these trees were not planted in a good position or in a good way, i.e. there's 13 of them that were planted really close together.
They're all hung up on each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So hung up means that the branches are all interconnected. So even taking them down now is a little bit tricky.
So where they are means, and the way that they were planted means that they're a danger in the wind because they could fall onto the house. And secondly, they are all caught up in the electricity wires which run into our house as well. So neither of those are good things.
And this particular tree that we're sat on also had signs of rot in the base of it, so right in the centre. So it was already it wasn't right at the end of its life, but give that another 5 years and that rot will have spread and the tree suddenly becomes a bit of a liability.
And finally, more of a subjective opinion, but they're pretty ugly.
Yeah. There's nothing, we found that the blue cypress tree in particular and an unmanaged Provençal cypress just look rubbish.
Really depressing and a bit ugly. And
yeah, we had all sorts of different, you can see different heights, and it wasn't like a beautiful scenic forest. Well, that takes on to question 2 in general, which is what are we going to do about replanting here? Well, we're currently sat in the orchard, which has 3 established trees and 2 fledgling trees at the moment. And we want to put more, and we have another one to go in the ground just to our right down there.
We're at that horrible kind of phase of demolition, of we just feel like we're constantly taking things down and out from the house, which is true, we are. We can't wait to be back into the mode of putting things back into the ground and building the Gita up and things. But we are so committed to having diverse tree life here, different species, creating better soil.
Currently, these trees did not do a lot for our pollinators. And therefore, if we don't have a lot of pollinators, we don't have a lot of diverse bird life. Hello, dog. We don't have a lot of diverse bird life. So we want trees that flower at different times and provide food for pollinators year round, which attracts more bird life, which gives diversity to the area.
And also some colour. We would really like some colour in this garden. So anyway, that probably brings us on quite nicely to question 3, which is what are we going to do with this space?
Yeah, so apart from a couple more trees and rebuilding the orchard, we are going to redo our drive. And basically, our drive isn't really a drive, it's a dirt path right now, but we are going to add in a turning circle and a bit of parking, which is going to sit underneath or next to what will be an established tree, therefore providing shade for our cars when they're parked in the future. And you've got to remember, we're talking like 10, 20 years down the line. We're not spending £5,000 buying established trees. We're growing them over time, and then we'll have lovely shaded areas. So we're going to dig out the area here and level as much as we can, put subbase down, and then have a lovely gravel turning circle that will sort of establish a route in and out for us properly, and also for trades that come here to work on the bigger project of house and gîte.
Final question, and obviously if you have more, put them in the comments and we'll do our best to answer. What are we going to do with the wood that we've got here? The sea of wood.
So there are 2 parts of that, aren't there? One, we're going to turn the smaller trunks into kind of fancy natural edging for the kids' play area, which is good. That saves us a bunch of money because we already own the wood. We just need to clean them up a little bit, and then we'll install them further down on the other side of the house.
In the shady area.
In the shady area that is already established next to a couple of beautiful oaks and pine trees that are down there. What are we going to do with the big trunks?
We are going to get them processed and made into planks, which we will be able to use for flooring.
Mm-hmm. Those will form a level, at least, of the entire house rebuild. But as that's further down the line, we've got time to let these season over the next couple of years. Hello, Blue. Next couple of years, and we've got somewhere in the region of 10 or 12 big trunks, including what we took down last year, that will be cut up into planks, and we'll have hard cypress planks, which we will then finish finish at some point, and hello, that we will then finish at some point and seal nicely, so we can have them indoors. These are what's called a class 5 tree, which is like the best in terms of an outdoor durability, but we want to use a chunk of it indoors because...
We've got kids and dogs.
And also wood is really, really expensive right now. So even getting this processed in a local mill is considerably cheaper than buying the wood itself and then getting it processed.
Or like a different type of flooring or something. It's just going to, yeah, to get that finish would be really nice.
Yeah, so we want nice, big, wide planks out of this. I want to say one more thing. We are making sure that we follow a format which, well, Jazz, you can talk about it a bit more, about how you might build a garden in a sort of countryside farm.
We're doing our research so that we are true to the more like traditional way that this land would have been set up, I guess. We got a book about like French gardens in farmhouses, and there was a really interesting bit of information in there that essentially, historically or traditionally, the way a farmhouse garden works is close to the house is quite practical and neat and formal.
Well maintained.
Yeah, exactly. Like the courtyard is used for maybe growing herbs. There's then like a driveway or parking area. There might then be the barns or the stables. So all that area is quite formalized, neat. And then the further that you get away from the house, it gets wilder. So you then have your potager, and that's got like an element of wildness to it, but it's still quite organized. And then you might have more of a wildflower meadow, and then your forest and your fields. And so that's the principle that we're trying to create here. So the closer you are to the house, the more formal or useful or practical those areas are, and then the further you kind of move away, the more wild we allow it to be.
So that gives us a structure as how we're doing this. We're not sort of like just wildly chipping loads of wood and felling loads of trees. We're re-establishing a historically accurate garden.
We've also waited a year to make any real decisions on the garden, because we wanted to go through every season here, see what was doing well, what wasn't, see where the spaces that we were more drawn to in the garden or wanted to open up. And that's allowed us to feel quite confident in the decisions that we're making now, because we know this is right. We know we aren't going to miss that shade, the little bit by the barn.
And the insects are back. And so is Raphael, because lunchtime is over. We've got some more trees to bring down. So should we get cracking?
Let's get cracking.
Well, let's have him get cracking and we'll watch. And you'll watch. Enjoy.
Bye. How's it going so far?
It's going well. I'm just like, it's really cool, but then I'm like, oh my God, there's so much tree for us to like.
You literally kept saying to me, no, this will be easy. I'm like, no,
no, it's not easy, but it's like
You're like, there's hardly any.
There's smaller trees than before, and we know a little bit more how to process it, but we still got to like cut all the limbs off that we want, or cut down the limbs.
I feel like you're catching up to this now.
No. I just knew it was going to be a lot of work. I was just like, it makes a big pile. It's going to be a lot. I'm glad we're not doing them all in one go.
Yeah.
Because the pile would be huge.
What do you reckon, Rory? Right, Miss Flower Power. See you then. Some of us better get back. We're paying for Raphael to take down the trees, but to save money, we'll process the wood ourselves. Essentially, that means that other than him cutting off the big branches for us, like he's doing here, he leaves the trees where they fall, and it's our job to clear them up. We'll use the big trunks for floorboards, the small trunks for playground edging, big branches for firewood, and small branches for wood chips. We're always transparent with costs, as renovations don't come for free, and this cost us €1,200 to have 9 trees taken down. Given we're going to use all of the wood for other projects around the house, we reckon that's good value for money. We hope you enjoyed that episode. We certainly did, being here and watching it in real life, and I think the drone footage shows it off pretty well. Anyway, we now have a lot of work to do to clear all this space up, especially because I have gone in and booked for all of our friends and family to come over in about 3 weeks' time for an Easter egg hunt and summer lunch here. So wish us luck, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye!